The EEG field from our group that is formed by neuroscientists and creatives and artists who work in music and in video. And one of them is an expert in neurofeedback. And they set out a system that was initially just conceived as a performance where one person wears an EEG reader and the other person is constrained and struggling, and their gesture is being signaled to the person with the EEG reader, and then their brain impulses are being read as a result to see how the feedback loop happens. They connected all of this with a soundscape, so there's a huge amount of feedback that's coming from the environment that gives you a signal of the things you cannot normally see. So the person wearing the EEG reader can start controlling their own emotions and their own thoughts as a result of the feedback. So Victoria took this on. They fitted her with an EEG reader which was connected to LED lights on her dress, and she was able to then see how certain states of mind reflect in her outfit, and she started to try to manipulate them.
Michaela Magas there, who's just won that EU competition for women innovators. Now, at Glen Boddington, I've been to plenty of gigs where you have feedback, but usually it's the guitar right in front of a big stack of amplifiers. It's that kind of feedback.
Yes.
Here we're talking about feedback from the soundscape, between people, between musicians, or maybe musicians in the audience. Some of it mediated through our brainwaves. The music performance is going in some interesting directions, shall we say?
No, definitely. I think here we are, we're talking about body data coming from the body again, and actual gestures and brainwaves coming together to create sound, visuals, smoke. Wonderful stories here, but cross-fertilization really of the body and the data from the body, and enabling us from many different fields to put things together and make things happen around us.
We heard there the case, for instance, of LEDs on a performer that can change according to their brain signals, and presumably could also be made to change according to the brain signals of other musicians, maybe even people in other countries. You only need to put the internet between the EEG and the performer. So what do you make of how this is going on? Because you're very interested in the body and in performance, and this whole idea that we can express ourselves in so many different ways, right down to our brainwaves.
I know, it's wonderful, and we did cover some of this with the brain controlling robots a couple of weeks ago. So there we've got this beginning, I think, of the AI, the artificial intelligence, actually complementing and working with human intelligence, and not just with mental brain intelligence, but actually with our senses, with our emotions, and with our whole physicality too, coming into that. So you're right, if this starts to happen at a distance, once we get past too many little EEG things stuck on our heads.
Yeah, it's not a cool look necessarily.
Not really, is it? And a little bit complex still, but we will get past that. So.
Great, Glenn, thanks for that. Well, now, if you're listening to this in Africa, how likely are you to have cash in your pocket? In other words, have you gone cashless? Well, of course, it depends exactly where you are, but